Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome back to the GM. I'm your guy Boulanger, and up next, the GM's gonna answer the question: is the Lamar Jackson scenario with the Baltimore Ravens and with the NFL, is it about color? And just up front, the answer is yes, an emphatic yes. It is 100% about color. Is Lamar Jackson black or brown? Yes. Is the NFL made up of 80% black or brown players? Yes. Is the collusion that we clearly can see? And if you can't, you're not looking. Is it about color? Yes. But the color is not black or brown. The color that this collusion against Lamar Jackson is about is green. Why green? Because the color of money is green. You see, money is the tool that makes the whole world operate. It becomes center focus in life, private, personal, and it's the center focus in business. Money. The collusion against Lamar Jackson was not about his skin pigmentation. It was about his money and the money the NFL has the potential to continue to make. Let's go. Let me give you the reasons why. The first reason why is about money and not about race. It's pretty simple. The Deshaun Watson deal came through the back door and has the potential to invade, interrupt owners' profitability. Let me explain. You see, there was about four major teams pursuing Deshaun Watson pretty heavily from the time he got in trouble, from the time he was made available to the time he was actually traded. The Cleveland Browns, the Carolina Panthers, the Atlanta Falcons, and the Miami Dolphins. And Cleveland was actually out of the Deshaun Watson race. And they swooped in the 11th hour at the last minute and offered the 5-year, 230 fully guaranteed deal. Deshaun Watson had no choice but to take it. Okay. And I don't blame him for taking it. But the real truth is, Cleveland was desperate and made that deal. But if the ownership of the NFL had talked about the deal before, that deal wouldn't have got done. You see, a $230 million fully guaranteed deal is not the issue. You see, because when you break that down in 5 years, that only comes out to about 46 to $47 million, which is in line with top quarterbacks. Josh Allen makes 45. Um, Aaron Rodgers makes around 50. Now, Kyler Murray makes around 47, 48. And Russell Wilson makes around 47, 48. So it falls right in line with top quarterbacks, although Kyler Murray is not a top quarterback. Okay. The problem is the fully guaranteed or the guaranteed money, not even fully guaranteed, but the guaranteed money. You see, going with a huge whole dollar amount is never a problem for NFL ownership. Why? Because we saw the Patrick Mahomes deal come out 10 years for 50. 450 is almost $500 million. But there was no controversy around that. The controversy is that his guaranteed money, Deshaun Watson, who I'm speaking of, was 230. Now, if he's at 230, imagine what the guaranteed money looks like for guys who don't have the off-field baggage, guys who have actually performed better than he on the field when they start coming up. You see, if Joe Burrow, put Lamar Jackson aside, if Joe Burrow comes up, he's done more than Deshaun Watson, does not have the off-field baggage. His guaranteed money has to start at 230. Justin Herbert, his guaranteed money has to start at 230. Trevor Lawrence brings up the rear. His guaranteed money has to start at 230 or more. So look how quickly the guys who get $230 million plus in guarantees, how quickly that can accelerate. You see, before Deshaun Watson got his money, there wasn't even a guy who was making $180 million in fully guaranteed money. or in guaranteed money, excuse me. And so now when Deshaun Watson's contract comes out, it accelerates guaranteed. See, I don't care about the whole dollar, but it accelerated the guaranteed money. And that's what the ownership of the NFL is looking at. See, they can't have that because now Joe Burrow, 235, has to get more than Deshaun Watson. Justin Herbert, 235, has to get more than Deshaun Watson. Jalen Hurts has to get more. He's done more. Don't have the off-field issues. Trevor Lawrence comes up after these guys. He has to get more than these guys, especially if he has a more playoff success. You see, so Deshaun Watson's guaranteed money. See, the word fully guaranteed is what has thrown people off. It's just the guaranteed money that's the real problem because it accelerated it so quickly. And then now look at the trickle down effect. Okay. These guys are Burrow, Hurts, and Herbert. They're now up for their contracts after their third year. Think about how fast that accelerated. They would now be in the $230 million guaranteed money within 3 years of starting the league. So now look at the next crop of quarterbacks. Let's say CJ Stroud, Anthony Richardson, and Bryce Young are hits. In 3 years, after Burrow, Hurts, and Herbert get their money, they're now up. Their guaranteed money will have accelerated even beyond Burrow, Hurts, and Herbert. See how the ownership is looking at it? So now, when you think about why Deshaun Watson's deal was such a travesty to ownership, is because it has the potential to accelerate guaranteed money so quickly that they can afford for that to happen because it cuts into their profitability. See, so the real color that matters is green. So my number one reason is the Deshaun Watson's deal came through the back door. Nobody's seen it happening. You see, because we would be having the conversation about Deshaun Watson being colluded against if he was in this Lamar Jackson scenario. All right, my number two reason, right? The NFL and the Baltimore Ravens have to make an example out of Lamar, not because he's black, but simply because he's the next guy up. You see, the other guys I mentioned, Burrow, Herbert, and Hurts, they're just now completing their third years, which makes them eligible for a contract extension. But they literally, with a fifth year option, would have 2 years left to work out a deal. But Lamar Jackson is going into his sixth year. There is no fifth year option. So the only way to really get Lamar in house is to sign him to a long term deal. Well, if we think about reason number one, the Deshaun Watson deal came through the back door. It set a new mark for Lamar Jackson to see. That's why Lamar Jackson looked like he's been targeted and made an example. He absolutely has. You see, when Lamar Jackson recognizes, well, hold on, I played better on the field than Deshaun. I've been better off the field than than Deshaun, and I have more credentials than Deshaun, right? So when I look at Deshaun Watson's money, not fully guaranteed necessarily, but guaranteed money, I deserve that. Why? Because I've done more than what he's done. What player would not think that way? In fact, if you think about you on your own job, if you had been on your grind, being productive, handling your business, been a good employee, no personal private issues, and somebody came in and got a bigger salary than you would feel like and believe that you need their kind of money as well. That's just the truth of it all. Okay. So we have to be honest. And so think about it. The reason why they had to make Lamar Jackson the example, because let's say Lamar Jackson, based on credential and play, got Deshaun Watson's money, type of money guaranteed. So let's say they said, well, I'll give you 232 guaranteed. It now accelerates Again, the same thing I shared earlier. It accelerates the guaranteed money exponentially. See, now Lamar has to come in above Deshaun. And let's say Burrow, Hurts, and Herbert don't get a deal done for another year. But whose number are they looking at? Lamar's. Then when Trevor Lawrence comes up after that, who number is he looking at? The 2020 class. So what I'm saying is it just continues to hype. And so Lamar literally was the next guy up. You see, it's easy and lazy to say race initially. You see, because that sometimes is the easy go-to. Okay. But I think that if it was Herbert or Burrow or Lawrence at some point, if they were in the Lamar Jackson situation where a deal had to be done, I think certainly they may get some of this same pushback because the color that matters is green. And no matter who it is, the owners want to stay in the position where their business is most profitable. My third reason is simply because this situation exists simply because um, style of play. Okay. You see, Lamar Jackson and his money has been tainted because he's been dubbed with a type of quarterback. He's been dubbed a running quarterback or a mobile quarterback or an athletic quarterback, but not just a quarterback. And so when it comes to the color green or money, they can't pay Lamar Jackson that kind of money, a Deshaun Watson deal, so on and so forth, or a lot of guaranteed money. Why? Because with a mobile, athletic, or running quarterback, oh, they're at a greater risk, and we can't put that kind of money into a player who's a risk or a higher risk, if I can't say that. And so, because of the label that has been placed on Lamar Jackson, that has impaired his ability uh, to be valued amongst all the other quarterbacks. See, so even if the Deshaun Watson scenario didn't exist, but it does, but if it didn't exist, Lamar would still get some pushback because of the label he's been placed under. You see, because although Herbert and Burrow and Lawrence can run with the ball, and even Hurts in some aspects can run with the ball, can make plays with their legs. They've they've been seen as a more of a pocket quarterback. You understand what I'm saying? And so because Lamar Jackson has that label, he's looked at as more of a risk. And so here we are with an owner or ownership who can't commit that kind of money because of the label. And then you have 2 injury years back to back, and you can use that to kind of validate your point. But here's a real truth. Lamar Jackson didn't get injured running the ball. He got injured trying to make a play in the pocket. But that's why. Those are the three reasons. Those are the three reasons why the NFL colluded against Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens participated. It's so that they can keep that money market suppressed so that players holistically don't infringe on their ability to be profitable. See, because look how this thing could accelerate, not even just for quarterbacks, but also for your wide receivers, your defensive ends, your left tackles. Those are your big money makers, right? You already have Tyreek Hill and Devontae Adams making 27 to 30 million. AJ Brown making 25 to 30 million, right? So if quarterbacks just start jumping in guaranteed money, what are wide receivers going to start asking for? More guaranteed money. What are left tackles who have to protect the quarterback going to start asking for? More guaranteed money. What are edge rushers and outside linebackers going to start asking for? More guaranteed money. Why? Because they have to get after the guy who makes the most money. What are cornerbacks going to start asking for? More guaranteed money. Why? Because they have to defend the quarterback. See, so this thing could explode the whole market. And so owners know this. Owners know this. And so Lamar Jackson is the next guy up. And so they had to make an example to kind of reclaim some of the power to make more money. So listen, man, that's my take. Let me know what you guys want me to know, man. Hit the like button, hit share, hit your notification button, man, so you guys can get the new content that we put out weekly. I appreciate you guys, man, for checking us out, hanging out with us, man. I'm your guy, Boulanger. This is the GM, and I'm out.